So as you can see, this kind of scaffolding is a little bit different. I'll give you a little kind of few seconds just to look over it just now, but similar to the end user requirements. When we thought about scaffolding that was needed, we started by looking at what makes a good functional requirement.
David, this was not an easy task.
No, it took us way too long.
I mean, these people are coming into this meeting thinking that we sound really confident, but my lord, us and the people in the background took ages trying to come up with this scaffold.
Yes.
I mean, we looked at marking schemes, marker reports, we spoke to current markers, and this is kind of what we got to, isn't it? Yeah,
I mean, that's right. I mean, there were some clear similarities with end user requirements, a beginning, a middle, and an end.
And I suppose we changed the beginning to always be that statement saying a query to, because that's what was missing from some of the other ones.
Yep.
And then to do something, the middle's always going to be a specific action, but we changed that to our technical language. So we're seeing like select, insert, etc. And then at the end, you're still going to get that context, you know, that's coming from the information you've been given. The main difference really is the action the query has to do.
Yeah, so I mean, looking at the SQL documentation, we could see 5 kind of similar actions. So we had select, insert, update, delete, and calculate.
But actually, from the diagram, calculate has several kind of subsections to choose from as well.
Yeah. So I mean, once we get to higher level, many of the database questions, they make use of calculations, calculated field, aggregated functions. So we wanted to make sure that pupils know what details to add when writing the functional requirements.
And then I suppose really remembering the bigger picture, because they need to be specific enough for another developer to understand. In the real world, it's not the same people who are doing the analysis that are, you know, doing the developing. So it should have that sufficient amount of detail for members of the design or coding teams to take those functional requirements and then turn them into fully functioning queries that meet the end user's needs that we had to begin with. Okay,
so let's put this kind of scaffolding to the test. Let's have a look at example number 1. So I'll just read it quickly. Here we go. I need to monitor how often the premium activities are selected by campers for, say, session 3. Look at the income for each of those activities and see the total income from premium activities for a particular selected session. So, Kimberly, can you create the functional requirement for this example using the scaffolding structure that we have in front of us?
David, you've got me doing the heavy lifting tonight,
I swear. That's it. Yeah.
Okay, so first of all, I can definitely see it's a calculation, and it says how many, so I'm going to say it's a count.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, we don't need to say count at this stage because that's a feature of SQL, and implementation isn't needed at the analysis stage. So look at the blue options, and which one would you pick?
Okay, so I suppose if I'm looking at calculations, the most obvious one is number of type of calculation.
Okay.
So do you want me to try and put it together then?
Yeah, go for it.
So I'm thinking a query to, and then calculate, and then the number of, and then going back down to the bottom, it would be a query to calculate the number of premium activities that are selected by campers for session 3, and then use the cost of these activities to calculate the total income from premium activities for a particular selected session. And obviously you could change that if it wasn't session 3.
Okay, so drum roll, shall we see if you're correct?
I hope so.
Oh, let's get a look. How is it? Yeah. So, correct answer.
Yeah, that's about session 3, but I suppose that would just be replaced with a session or any session if it wasn't that one that was needed.
Yeah. Okay. Shall we look at a different one then? Okay, here we go. So I'll read this out. Please reread it along with me, but not out loud because that would put me off. But here we go. It would be useful to look at a list of premium activities that campers attended at the waterfront during session 2. This would show the number of campers who attended those premium activities and would display details of the least popular premium activity first. Activities that are equally popular should be listed alphabetically. So, yet again, Kimberly, can you work out a functional requirement from this? Now, this one might be written with more than one action.
That's what I'm thinking, because actually I'm looking for it says to look at a list of premium activities. So I need to use select since the first sentence doesn't actually mention any calculations.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking the requirement would be a query to select the premium activities that campers attended at the waterfront during session 2, because they're specifically mentioned.
Yeah, okay, so that's the first part. Yeah, what about the second sentence?
Because it says show, I'm thinking, and then a query or that wants to display the number of campers, which is a count, and that needs a calculation. So it would be a query to calculate the number of campers who attended each of these premium activities and list details of the least popular activity first. Activities that are equally popular should be listed alphabetically. I mean, I feel like I'm just reading that in but out, but
right, okay. And what happens if you put them together?
So a query.
Okay,
right. Okay, so a query to select the premium activities that campers attended at the waterfront during session 2, and then also calculate the number of campers who attended each of these premium activities and list details of the least popular activity first. Activities that are equally popular should be listed alphabetically.
Oh, I think I'm quite impressed. But here we go, drum roll. Let's see if you're right.
The scaffold helps, so.
Yeah, okay. So that's exactly what a functional requirement should be written. So,
but then if there's 2 parts of the requirement, you don't have to mention a query to twice.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure actually.
Yeah, so I mean, the level of detail about the number of queries needed is considered at design and implementation stages, but not at the analysis stage. The developer doing the analysis would simply say that querying was needed, but wouldn't say how that querying should be carried out.
Okay, so it's keeping it simpler than I thought it needed to be.
Yeah.
Okay. How does everyone then feel about the functional requirements? Are we liking them? Can we get a wee same as last time, heart if you find them good, or exploding head if this just seems a bit more complicated? Because we do have one more example that
we've got another one. Oh, the love that makes me feel warm and fuzzy inside.
I know. I'm actually I think I need a lie down. My brain's been working so hard there.
Yeah.
Good, mostly positive feedback then. So I don't think we need to do the third example.
No, I'm all good with that. Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, so shall I stop presenting and we'll head over to the feedback for this section?
Yeah, let's go for it.
Okay, so I'm jumping out everybody, but we're going to head to the feedback section, which is, look who we are. It's right next to where we were. So this is the green feedback section. It says need feedback in the purple arrow. You should be able to see my little cursor hovering in the middle, and David's too. Come find us.
Yeah.
Come find us. Brendan and S. Burton and Lon, you need to come up the way. And Mr. McCluskey, you need to come right and up. Here we are. Okay. So here's what I would like you to do. We're going to pause for a wee moment and get some feedback from you all. I want you to click on a blank note. David, maybe you could do one for me, actually, just that first one.
I'm actually
change the colour.
Yep,
you've got a beautiful orange. Yellow, that's nice.
Yeah.
Type a comment on it, because obviously we need a little bit of feedback to help us. So do you think the scaffolding structures were useful? How might you use them in your classes? Do you see any challenges? What concerns do you have? If you are finding it good, try maybe make your post-it green. If you're okay overall, maybe yellow, and if you're finding it quite difficult or overwhelming, then red, and then kind of list any challenges or niggles or concerns you've got, and then maybe we can have a wee chat about them before we...
Yeah, we'll try and address any issues.
Yeah, before we do anything else. I think it's breakout session after this, isn't it? So
yes, the
whoever's left in black, could you pick a colour for that? What does it say? We'll be using the scaffolding diagrams. If you click on your post-it just above it, you can choose the colours. Yeah.
I mean,
scaffolding diagrams are good. That's good.
Yeah, brilliant. I think so too. I mean, I'm really hoping that the SQA can feedback next year based on these sessions and the scaffolding that we're all kind of giving you will hopefully really improve the overall results nationally, not just for my kids.
Yeah, I'm loving that there's one there that says scaffold is fantastic and just in time for hire, but it's in red. Difficult.
Brilliant. brilliant feedback. The team are also the team that helped us come up with them are also watching this, and I can tell you that they'll be very, very happy about the positive feedback. Just clarification: no need to include reference to specific age functions in the functional requirements, or better to. John, so that was. Can you have a look at John's there?
Oh, so if you've edited your post-it, can I ask people to move to the left onto the cursor part, because then there's lots of things flying about, and actually John's is looking like it's still selected, so I can't read it because it's still a bit like maybe you have to click on the back.
That's it.
It's orange. I'm trying to zoom in a little bit because it's quite small, isn't it?
Yep.
If anyone's on a smaller screen than me, then you'll really be feeling it. Yeah. No need to include reference to specific aggregate functions in the functional requirements, or better to. I think we discussed it. We'll get back to you, but I think we discussed it that it wouldn't need to do that because that's like developer stuff, and you wouldn't be expecting an analyst to know that level of detail. Was that right, David?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of that's more for the implementation stage rather than at the analysis stage at this point. So we need to know what needs to happen, and it's more the kind of implementation stage that uses the aggregate functions to make it happen.
Yeah, because we actually even like queried whether it should say querying things, but we decided when we looked at the past like papers and things like that, they were giving them marks for saying a query too. So they wanted them to use some technical knowledge, but not going too far.
Yeah.
John's comment underneath saying, "Great, thanks, that's amazing."
And John, just we'll ask with our team kind of in the background here, if they also want to put any answers to that question, we'll allow them to do that in the Google chat, and you might get a little bit more responses on that one.
Although Morag's typing, I can see her. It was 2009. It's coming slowly, I think. Oh yeah, she's answering questions as she go round. Yeah, fab.
Brilliant.
Great.
Okay. Good.